Hello and welcome to this video. It's a different shot. Do you like it? You can see the desk with the nice setup with the candle on it and the laptop and the plant, and that's where I'm meant to do all my work. And here's the sofa where I actually do most of my work. And it means I can be big. I can flail my arms. I don't have to be like, oh, if I move half an inch this way, I'm half out of shot. If I move half an inch this way, oh no, oh dear. It's a whole entire space. And if I get really close to the camera, my nose looks huge. I've also got my sound recorder in shot that I'm speaking into. Does this bother you? Because I've had it in like some other videos as well, where it's just kind of sneaking into the bottom of frame like that. I just want to know if you think it would be better if I didn't have this. It's just so much easier to shoot videos like this. Like, I don't need to set up my whole entire microphone, which is hiding just behind here. So I've been thinking a lot about creative voice, mostly because it's difficult to find it. I'm like 24, which I need to keep on reminding myself, pretty freaking young. I mean, I feel like an old man. I'm wearing a cardigan and like a button-down shirt, and I'm going like, oh, look at my space. Isn't this pillow nice? But 24 really, actually is pretty young. So I think I'm on a pretty good track to finding my creative voice. I'm managing that pretty early in life, all things considered. Like, if you look at my short films, you can start to see there's some like themes developing and some things that I sort of gravitate towards. And, you know, even in short films that are very different from one another, like To Avalon is very different from The Docs, you can still see common threads across them, which I quite like. There's a video that I come back to a lot, which is by Jack Conte, who is one of the founders of Patreon. He's also a member of Pomplamoose. He's got a cool channel called Jack Conte Extras. Give it a look. I'm gesturing down there because I'm planning on leaving a link in the description. If I don't leave a link in the description, because sometimes I write descriptions like days after finishing editing a video, shout at me in the comments, please. He made this video and this talk that he did about selling out and what is and isn't selling out. Because a lot of very successful creative people are not considered sellouts. And it's also possible to be a sellout without being big and successful. So it can't just be being profitable that makes you a sellout. So he goes on to talk about two different parts to any creative product that you put out there into the world. There's the stuff that you care about. There's your creative soul, the things that matter to you. And he was talking a lot about like rhythm and harmony and things like that. And there's also all the other stuff, the stuff that you don't care about. And a lot of the stuff that you don't care about still needs to be in there for there to be an end product. And this stuff that you don't care about is what he calls packaging. The idea is that it will never feel like you're selling out if you're only ever changing your packaging to appeal to an audience. The soul of it, you've got to do that for you. But the packaging, the stuff that you don't necessarily care about, that you can change as much as you want to make it appealing to other people. And changing your packaging is not selling out.
I say adjust your packaging, not your soul.
Something I actually found really interesting when watching this video is, as someone who's done a lot of music in the past, the songs that I play are really important to me. Like, that is the soul of why I do music sometimes, is because I like the song. So hearing him say,
We had made a slight adjustment in song choice. That's it.
Was really enlightening, because it made me realize that what is packaging to some people is the entire soul to other people. I have a whole nother theory about how this relates to The Last Jedi and why that divided the fandom so much. Because what Rian Johnson saw as the Star Wars packaging, some people saw as the entire soul. And I freaking heckin' love this concept. But it just sounds so much simpler than it actually is. And I think a lot of the difficulty of finding one's creative voice is working out what is packaging and what is not. This is something I'm making decent progress in when it comes to short films, but it's something that, I'm struggling with in terms of YouTube. so much. I like making YouTube videos. I know I like making YouTube videos. I have genuine fun, particularly editing YouTube videos, even when it's not that complicated, and just putting things out there that get people thinking and engaging with me as a person beyond just like the work that I make. I know that what you're watching right now is still just a product that I've made. It's a piece of my work, but it's a piece of my work that has actually me visible in it. And it's also a different kind of communication. Like, I am communicating directly with you rather than through the films that I make. Basically, I like that this makes me look like a real person rather than just a faceless director on the other side of the camera. Because, you know, unless they appear in video vlogs, directors aren't real people. Which means that you can send them death threats if they make a good film in a franchise that you like, but don't do it exactly how you want it. Am I back to The Last Jedi again? Oh, how did that happen? So I'm constantly trying to improve. But sometimes I feel like improvements that I make are kind of selling out. Like, there's things that I do that I like that I'll stop doing because I think it will appeal more. And that doesn't feel good to me. So I have tried packaging this YouTube channel in various different ways. At different points, it has been like a video essay YouTube channel. I've done guitar lessons, and I've kind of honed in on the filmmaking stuff. And I plan to keep on doing the filmmaking stuff because making films is like my primary passion. So I know that the point of this YouTube channel, I managed to condense it into a sentence, is the conceptual tools of narrative filmmaking. I like that. That works nicely. But I think that I kind of don't have a reference point for what I want my packaging to be like. Because if you look at other like filmmaking YouTubers, I don't really want to be like Film Riot, for example, or like DSLR Guide. Neither of those have packaging that sits right with me. Like, if I was to package myself like either of those channels, I'd be losing a little something of the soul, you know? And similarly, there's other YouTube channels like Nate Drew and Matt Diavella that do this kind of self-improvement stuff, which I really like. But again, if I was to just focus in on that, I would be losing a little something of what I love about doing this YouTube stuff. I've tried to be a lot more kind of authoritative in a lot of my more recent videos, which I like. I feel like that's a good thing to be like, here's some clear-cut, definite, like, this advice works. This video is just a lot of me kind of going, I have questions. I do genuinely feel that boiling down into one sentence exactly what I want to be doing with this YouTube channel has been very helpful. But I kind of don't know exactly where I want to go from here in terms of finding a voice for this YouTube channel, because I don't think I can emulate the kind of self-improvement YouTuber voice, however much I like it. Similarly, I can't really emulate casual vlogger voice either. Neil Gaiman said that he didn't really find his voice until he was like about my age. I think he said he wrote a novel at the age of 23, which he dug out again after the success of Coraline, and found one page that he was like, oh, that's me. And with filmmaking, even though I've been doing it for a lot less time and have done a lot less of it than I have done of YouTube, I have been on this platform for 10 years now. I kind of feel like I've found something of a voice for myself in filmmaking. I've gone through like pretending to be David Fincher and pretending to be Jonathan Demme, and I've been on other people's sets and I've seen how they do their thing. But like, I'm still working this out for YouTube. So I think I'm going to end this with a question for the creatives in the comments, which is, do you think that you have found your creative voice? And if so, like, what was your process for getting there? You can be any kind of creative. You could be a musician, you could be a painter, YouTuber, anything. I'm just genuinely really curious. I hope y'all haven't minded this kind of very different style of vlog. And I will see you when I see you.